Hi, Jeremy Cordeaux in the Court of Public Opinion. I'm just on air here to let you know that we'll be live streaming the Court of Public Opinion every Friday between 9 o'clock and 12 on jeremycordeaux.com. Please join us. We'd love to have you.
The process of getting a rental and doing the application is a bit of a daunting process because, you know, you want to put your best foot forward. You want, you know, the landlord or whoever's looking at the application and think, geez, you know, this person's suitable to live in my house.
This is a stand-up citizen.
Yeah, you know, they've spent so much money on this house, this huge property, that they want, you know, no one to trash it. They want everyone to be respectful. So it is a huge thing to make that good first impression.
So it's a good thing you didn't send in a mugshot with your application.
Here's my black and white headshots from my acting days.
This is me as a chef.
I play a hardened criminal in this one. Don't be alarmed. But yeah, I'm in the process of moving in with a mate, and she already lives there, but I'm trying to move in, and I've had to do an application online to sort of seal the deal.
Yeah, you want to get on the lease. So,
yeah, even though she's put in kind of a recommendation saying, you know, we know each other, we're friends. It's just I have to do a lease, you know, application and all that.
Yeah, sure.
And there's a funny part where it comes up to tell us a little bit about yourself. And I was looking at it and I was thinking, well, I won't tell them the truth because, you know, they might, you know, if I turn around and said, hey, I play drums, you know, I like to go to the pub, all these things, they'd think, geez.
This guy's a rat bag. I don't want him living in my house. The normal person would think that.
And no one's disputing that. Most people probably think that in general, you know, without owning a house. So I thought in the application process where it says, you know, tell us a little bit about yourself, I thought I'd embellish and change things a little bit. So I love cooking now. I think cooking is my main hobby.
When do you cook?
I don't cook that much
no,
at all.
I was going to say, maybe heat up the occasional Enzo's pasta pack.
Yeah. Microwave meals, definitely my specialty.
I am like a Michelin-starred chef with the microwave meals.
You give me the recipe, you make it, I'll heat that thing up.
I'll even shave some parmesan on top.
I like to be a little bit gourmet.
Yeah.
But so like cooking is my new hobby. We're going to stray away from, you know, the other stuff I said that could imply it's going to cause a ruckus.
Like maybe your drum kit?
Yeah, exactly right.
Are you going to leave the drum kit at your parents' home, or are you going to bring it with you and cause a ruckus?
I will leave it there for the time being. I'll leave it at the parents' house for a little bit. Yeah. My other hobby.
Till they trust you.
Yeah. My other newfound interest.
Okay.
The theatre.
The theatre, as in the movie theatre, or like the play
as
theatre?
In plays,
like Her Majesty's Theatre.
Plays.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
When was the last play you saw?
Jeez, I don't know. What would it be? Probably the Book of Mormon.
Book of Mormon. That's a few years ago now.
Yeah. It's a while ago before it was around. But I thought in my head, well, if I do theatre, you know, they'll think I'm pretty quaint and tame. And I just said, you know, it would be great to live near the city during Fringe time because I love theatre and I love seeing shows. And, you know, they won't think anything different. Maybe in the inspection they come and I'm just rocking a turtleneck.
Yeah, I was going to say, what are you going to wear to the interview? A turtleneck, you know?
Sorry, they're banging on the door for half an hour. Sorry, I was in the shower singing Sweeney Todd.
Thick framed glasses to go with the...
Bunch of
You've got a book under your arm.
Just a huge library of Penguin Publishing orange books scattered around the house. I'm really artsy, actually. I do love the theatre. Sorry if you're going to trip on my scripts on the floor. But so I've definitely gone through this process, changed my character a little bit just so they don't think I'm too much of a rat bag.
Yeah, so they don't know who you are, truly.
My true identity.
So You've almost lied on this application a little bit.
I would say so.
You've embellished it.
The truth has been a little bit embellished.
Yeah.
I don't mind cooking. I don't mind the theatre. Do I love both of them? Probably not.
Is that how I'd explain myself to newfound people? Absolutely not.
God, no.
I want to open up the text line here, Callum. What did you lie about, Adelaide? Did you lie on a resume? Did you lie on an application, a renting application?
I mean, I feel like that's the big hitter. Surely resumes, applications, you know, those skills that you don't have that you claim you do. Have you claimed you speak another language or something? You know, are you really good at maths? Like, whatever it is, surely you have lied on something.
Hey, we got a few people that have called up with their lies. Adam in Tonsley, good morning, mate. How are you?
Very well, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, good. Now, Adam, what did you lie about?
So when I was younger, I used to love getting around the video games with my mates.
Yeah,
And when I
absolutely.
was about 10, 11 years old, we used to love playing GTA. So one night at about 2 a.m., probably met some random English bloke on there, and he was trying to sell me a modded disc version of it. So I thought, why not? Quickly pull out the mum's credit card while she was sleeping, bought it. She was asking me, what happened? Why'd you buy this? I'm like, no, that's not me. Didn't buy anything. And yeah, by the end of it, there was a full-on police investigation.
Oh, my
because I
God.
wanted to play some modded GTA.
Jeez, so was it definitely it came from England and everything, or was it sourced from some like dodgy spot?
Oh, it was definitely from England because when I spoke to the bloke about it, he actually wrote it was a wedding video.
Right, okay. And Adam, how would you feel if I told you I could sell you GTA 6 right now?
I'd say how much?
I'll get it from England. I've got guys over there.
Good on you, Adam. Thanks for getting
Awesome.
involved, mate. Appreciate it.
Thanks, mate.
Cheers.
Cheers. Hey, we've got Alicia from Plimpton on the line. Alicia, what was the lie?
So I went to a French bar in the city recently, and all of the waiters were speaking in a French accent. So I tried to talk to them in French.
Yeah,
and the guy
okay.
turns around in the most Aussie accent ever and goes, "I'm not French. I just talk this way so I get more tips."
Wow, okay. So he broke the facade in front of you. Was he pretty good at the French accent and, saying the words and everything?
I mean, it was a bit of like, "Bonsoir, mademoiselle." Like, he was laying it on.
the classics.
So, yeah, he told me.
Alicia, what's your French level like? Can you speak it very well?
Probably just like, "Bonsoir, je m'appelle Alicia," and that's about it. So if he'd gone further than that, I would have been screwed.
And finally, Alicia, did you tip the waiter after he told you he can't speak French?
Look, honestly, I don't remember because we had a few too many lychee daiquiris, but I would like to think so. Purely for the Aussie accent that came with it.
Hey, it's impressive. Tom, in the morning, we are assigned a producer here to help with socials and, audio. And
Taking calls.
Yeah, exactly
Yeah.
right. There's heaps of different jobs that go around, like in the breakfast show, that everyone helps out with that we don't necessarily always do.
Yeah.
And you need a producer every day to help out with that stuff. And if they don't show up, it just means everything takes a little bit longer.
Yeah, it just means we do all the work, which is fine. Don't hate it, but it is nice to have a producer in here in the mornings helping out and getting a little bit of experience of how a radio show might work as well.
Yeah, definitely. And one of the producers, the one that was assigned today for Tuesdays, is our friend Gavin.
Yes, our social media man at Fresh 92.7, Gavin. He produces us on Tuesdays, and he was meant to be in this morning.
So it was a really funny thing because yesterday he was told that, he was the only producer on shift. It would be Tom, Callum and Gavin.
Yeah.
And we'd all be hanging
The
out.
three amigos.
Yeah, exactly
The
right.
three Stooges.
He didn't really...
The three musketeers.
Three blind mice going into the station. Who knows what will happen? But, Gavin didn't seem, too phased about the excitement that it would be the three of us
No.
when he was told that. And it kind of shows because he isn't here now.
No, he's not here. And Gavin is very well known around the breakfast circuit of being someone who never really gets here on time. And he's come at us with quite a few gold excuses in the past.
Well, it was a real process of all the different excuses that he's been through. I think it started off with car troubles.
Yeah.
Which is fair enough. He really slid that one through a few times.
The car he pushed the car troubles so much that he actually got rid of that car and got a new car, which we don't know if there was any car troubles to begin with.
And then that new car had car troubles.
Yeah.
So it
very
was
convenient.
It was constantly something, something new would happen, and then it went to my alarm was broken.
Classic, yeah, slept through the alarm, forgot to set the alarm, just the alarm didn't go off. Anything to do with an alarm excuse, that got a rinse as well by him.
And then here's where his craft sort of diminished a little bit, where he started to get a bit slack on the excuses because it went from car troubles to bad alarms to, hey guys, I just slept in, I'm really sorry.
Yeah, and then it got to a point where he just assigned himself a new time. We're meant to get in around 6:15 in the morning here, and he'd just roll through around 7:30, 8 o'clock.
Yeah,
you know,
sometimes even
without
8:30.
an excuse.
No,
Yeah.
and there wasn't any excuse, which was more. It was almost like he walked in with such confidence and bravado that no one really bothered to ask him about it because you thought, well, maybe he did get assigned a new time and we just don't know about it because he just didn't say anything. He would just rock in at 8 o'clock.
But he's come out with one of the all-time excuses for this morning as to why he's not here.
Gone for the health route. He has wisdom teeth pain.
Now, he has been planting the seed about his wisdom teeth for a few weeks now, but we have been talking about the messages he had sent. You know, they were at quarter to 2 in the morning, 4:50 in the morning, and we're wondering, did he set the alarms that don't work
Yeah,
to
well, I
wake
mean-
up at these times and send these messages? Because he was at Henley Beach last night at 9 o'clock taking videos of the sunset.
Yeah, how can you eat your leucomatus down at Henley Beach if you got sore teeth?
We have our newsreader Cassie coming in with gastro. No, she doesn't care. She gets it.
Literally, we've got a trooper, an absolute trooper of a newsreader. She is on the brink with gastro, and meanwhile, Gavin, who's allegedly has wisdom teeth issues, is down at the beach taking sunset shots for a calendar or something, and she's in the studio here.
Good on you, Cass. Hey, Callum, don't you reckon one of the worst things is forgetting someone's name?
Yeah, it's not one of the good ones. I mean, there are little fallbacks you can do to save yourself from such a dilemma.
Yeah, you're using, like, mate as a classic.
Oh, mate is great. Or if you turn around and you're like, you've been good. You know, don't even acknowledge that they have a name or an identity. Just say, what have you been up to?
You can usually
been good.
You can usually buy yourself a bit of time, you know, before. And it's tough when you're with someone and you don't want to introduce them to this person because you've forgotten their name.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you can't secretly convey the message of, hey, you introduce yourself so I can pick up the name again. Right?
Another great one as well, another little tactic, a little side note I've been doing is, you know, if you know one of their friends' identities for sure, look up one of their pictures and hopefully they're in the same picture and then you can look at the tag and see what the name is. I feel like that's the new age trying to figure out a name you've forgotten technique.
Yeah, that's a lot of effort to do at the table at the pub when they're sitting across from you, though.
And not conspicuous. You can be caught out pretty easy.
Yeah, and I mean, there are all these different ways of buying yourself time if you've forgotten their name, but this completely changes if you do invite this person over for a sleepover.
Sure.
One-on-one time makes it a lot tougher to not use their actual name.
Yeah,
So there's only so many times you can call someone mate, especially when you're going for a sleepover.
Yeah, exactly right. And, you know, they're not going to be shouting out their own name during the session. It'd be a bit weird. So, you know, you're really in a dilemma there.
Well, this is exactly what happened to a mate of ours over the weekend. She's gone home with another friend of ours, but they hadn't met ever before.
Hey, look at us matchmakers.
Yeah,
you
little
know,
cupids.
Pretty seamless.
We're wearing
process.
our nappies. I had my bow and arrow on site. Callum brought some wings.
That's it. You know, matchmakers at the pub, seamless interaction. They seem to hit it off pretty well because of us.
Yeah. However, they hit it off too well where I guess they didn't hang around the name part so long. Because the minute they left together, we were getting texts straight away from the girl saying, oh my God, what's his name? I can't remember.
Poor bloke, our mate, because continuously throughout the night, I would say multiple people, about 3, would forget his name and ask either you or me, what's his name again?
Yeah.
Why is this? It must be such a struggle for some people that, you know, have a really simple name. Very, very simple.
It's 4 letters.
It's
his
4.
name.
His name is 4 letters, yet he's somehow fallen into the category of forgettable names. So it does seem a little bit disrespectful.
I mean, the worst part is after we've received these messages and we've given her the name in writing, she still couldn't retain the information and resorted to just calling him babe all night and all the next morning.
That's it, because she sent a text the next morning saying, oh, what's his name again? I've just been calling him babe.
Yeah.
And, you know, babe is a safeguard, especially in that romantic setting. Babe does seem natural. It wouldn't really prick up his ears to be suspicious that much.
I don't know, first time though, calling someone babe that much would start to make you wonder, like, have they forgotten my name? We're not dating. Why are you calling me babe?
Do you reckon he clocked on?
I think that there would have been some idea, surely, in the back of your head.
How many babes does she have to say until our mate, do you reckon, thought, I wonder, I'm not going to say anything, but I do wonder if she's actually forgotten my name.
I reckon by the next morning when she's still calling him babe.
Wait, what was it? She also said she was thinking about looking in his wallet for his ID to have a suss what his actual name is. But how crook would that
Don't
look?
ever do that, Adelaide.
Can you imagine him waking up the next morning, looking over, and she's going through his wallet, thinking,
How would you explain it? Because you still wouldn't want to admit, I've forgotten your name. I was looking if you had a 20. I was going to go buy some soft drinks, some Powerades.
Do you want some Powerade? Do you want some milk? I'm going to make a coffee. You would wake up looking at it thinking, geez, she's going to raid my wallet. But, some two pretty off techniques on her behalf that I think, over time she'll probably be caught out on.
Absolutely. And hey, you know what? These techniques are hard to come by. There's only so many you can think of, and we want your help, Fresh Fam. Give us a buzz now. What was the name cover-up? What's your tactics? If you've forgotten someone's name, what are your tactics to get out of it and make it sound like you know who they are completely? But plenty of people getting involved at the moment on the text line. Somebody's texted in saying buddy is another one they'll use, another term.
Yeah, buddy's not a bad one. Another text here, a bit more elaborate. Someone's telling a story. They've said they texted in, took a guy home really drunk during the deed. He said, "Say my name."
Oh.
And I could not remember it. So I laughed it off and said, "Oh, I don't do that." And then once we were done, he went to the toilet and I ran to my phone and checked.
Oh, jeez. That's not what you want.
To have to awkwardly hop off during and be like, I'm just going to look at my phone, check the stocks.
Another text in here. I, for the life of me, can't remember my dog wash lady's name. She's been coming to my house for the past 6 years to wash my dog, but I can't seem to remember her name. I feel like it's too far gone now to ask what's your name. She knows my name, my kids' names, my pets' names, etc. So I just open with, "Hey, how's the family?"
Yep. How's the family? I guess you're
classic.
safeguarded there. Imagine what a weird technique. It's like, hey, I've booted up some Mario Kart, but you have to input your name. Here's the controller. You chuck it in. I'm going to go to the bathroom.
Only puts initials in?
Yeah, damn it. This one here. I always just excuse myself to the bathroom to save the awkwardness. Like I basically just run away in those situations, or I have time to do a quick Facebook stalk on our mutual friends. Mutual friends, that's not a bad one either.
Sounds like someone who's been coddled for a lot of their life, though, doesn't it?
To run away?
Yeah. Hey, let's cross over to Freeling. We've got Ash on the line. Ash, good morning, mate. How you going?
Good, how are you, legends?
Very good.
Yeah, well, mate. Now, Ash, what was the name cover-up? What's your go-to to get out of these sticky situations?
Well, I'm so bad with names that I'll remember faces anywhere, but I am terrible with names. So it got to the point where my wife and I had to develop a technique to get me out of trouble every time, because I was doing it pretty much on a regular basis and it was just embarrassing.
Yeah, right. So what, you've come up with a secret hand signal or something?
So basically, my wife now knows that if I kind of look at her and I'll introduce her to somebody and I'll be like, this is my wife, Stacey. She knows that if I haven't said their name, I don't know it, and she's either got to get it out of them, or most of the time when you do that, they happen to say their name anyway, which is, is really lucky. But I still get into trouble when I'm by myself because obviously I don't have her there to save me. So.
Ash, do you reckon you're as subtle as you think in this process, or do you think the person that you don't know their name has, they kind of realise what you're doing a little bit?
Oh, there's definitely been times when they've known, because, if nobody gives any hints and, we can't come up with a way to make them say their name, it's kind of awkward, and then you go back to the whole mate situation again, because that's all you've got, right?
Why has he called me mate 6 times? And why is he waving his arms around in panic?
Hey, Ash, do you have any sort of system if your wife, Stacey, forgets anyone's name? Do you have a system for her to help out her?
No, well, yeah, like my wife, she reckons she remembers everything, so I've not been in that situation yet. She certainly remembers everything I do, so I've not had that problem.
She's the expert.
Callum, when we think of what's sacred to us Aussies, it's pretty simple, isn't it? Sports, a refreshing taste of that liquid gold on a scorching hot day.
Yep.
The beach.
Yeah.
And of course, one thing we hold very dear to our hearts is our relaxed style of shortening every word.
Yeah, well, I guess the slang words, it is like not telepathic, but it really brings people together. It's like code words, if you subtly know, I guess if you're at a backpackers hostel in Europe and you see an Australian in the distance and you sort of, have the secret language of the slang, then it brings you together.
What I love about Aussie slang as well is you could be talking absolute nonsense. You could be talking words that aren't traditional Aussie slang, but if you're saying it in a way that makes sense, anyone else that's Australian will get what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly right.
Doesn't need to make sense at all. Doesn't even need to be real slang words. There's an art form to it, which I feel like as a nation, we've truly perfected. And it's recently come under fire. I think we have a new show enemy.
Really?
Yes. Jennifer Welch, the host of I've Had It podcast, which is basically a podcast about things she's had it with, that she's upset about. And this particular podcast, she started slamming Aussie slang.
Right, okay. So obviously this is going to tick a few Aussies off. Hold your horses, everyone, because this may aggravate you a little bit.
Yeah, and the slang word that she's really targeted, this one word in particular, is pretty true to our hearts. I'm going to play out the audio now of her on the podcast, what slang word she had a problem with.
I've had it with people calling breakfast brekkie. Put a sock in it. Stop, for the love of God, calling breakfast brekkie.
What do you mean, stop calling breakfast brekkie?
I mean, brekkie is, in a classic Australian slang and also our show. So I think that's why it hits close to home a little bit harder than it usually would.
New show enemy on the bounds right now. Jennifer Welch, host of this I've Had It podcast. You know what? I've had it with this podcast.
Well, who knows what brekkie she is referring to that she hates? Is it, just a classic full English breakfast, or is it Tom Callum, our show? We can't be too sure, and we can't, we can't assume. We just have to cover all grounds and assume that she's talking about us. So yes, we have a new show enemy.
We are taking a stance. We will continue to be calling breakfast brekkie, and there is nothing the Americans can do about it.
There's nothing she can do about it. There will be a plaque in the room here installed ASAP with her being the first name on the enemy list. Hey, you have to respect somebody's craft when they do a really good job at something and, they're a professional and all the results come perfect. And exactly that happened with our photographs that were taken for our promo shots for the new Brekkie show.
Yeah, you can go check him out. Even with there's new photos for the new Drive show, Kayla Mags,
yes.
New pictures for the new Brekkie show, Tom Callum, and then Taylor, of course, came down and got new pictures as well. If you head to our Instagram at Fresh927, you can see the pictures they've used and the pictures we've picked of ourselves.
Yes, exactly right. Now, we did go to a photography studio to get these done, and I have to say, kudos to the man who did the photos because
he put up with a lot.
Yeah, he put up with a lot for us. We were the only people to insist that we used the props in the room.
Yes.
Insist that we used the props that were specifically for kids as well.
Yeah, like a small little car that it was made for a kid to climb into, and I managed to squeeze my tuchus in there.
Hey, with a bit of contortionism, it was all good, a bit of bending and snapping of the legs and the tibia and the fibula. Like it was, I think you broke a few bones to try and squeeze into that one, but hey, you did it, and we took.
You got to break
pictures.
A few bones to make a few bones. Am I right?
But of course, we did get in the props, and we had a lot of fun at that studio. But one of the fun moments is actually captured in our main picture, and our main picture on the Fresh 927 Instagram is pretty much you are on my shoulders.
Yeah,
we're doing a standard as if you're in the mosh pit. You're on my shoulders.
Yeah,
maybe a few of them I'm giving the thumbs up, the shackers, whatever.
We're in matching suits as well, so we kind of look like one big man.
Yes, exactly
on the
right.
Shoulders.
Ready for a trench coat to go around and us to go into a blockbuster, without our parents.
Ready to head into the sip and save. Yeah. But no, the image that we picked, though, of me on the shoulders, it was a very candid shot that was caught. And I do really urge you, Fresh Fam, to head to the Instagram at Fresh927 to check it out because the facial expressions on us say it all.
Yes, and that's exactly why we admire the photographer on the day because
complete professionalism.
It is so candid, right, that in the picture, pretty much you're on my shoulders. the balance went off a little bit.
It was a little
and-
warm up there. We
Yeah.
were in suits, and me being on your shoulders was proving to be a little difficult after a while of being up there.
It was a bit hot and sweaty, and there's a bit of misbalance, and then you pretty much almost fell off.
I I let go for 1 second to put my hands up, and then you let go of locking my legs into place, and then I started to fall backwards, and there is this look of pure sheer panic on both of our faces until luckily I didn't fall over, but the photographer, he sat there, one knee down, and he got that shot. He didn't ask if we're okay. He didn't try and help. He just did his job, and I respect the hell out of that.
100%, because he looked at us. In that moment, he would have looked at us and thought, geez, these boys might crack their heads open, but they might crack their heads like watermelons right now, but I'm going to stand here and take more and more pictures and hold my ground because I know this will be the great shot.
Imagine how upset National Geographic would be if you interfered with a lion taking down an antelope.
Exactly
You just
right.
wouldn't do it. You sit there and you take the picture, and that's exactly what he did. That's professionalism, and we got the shot.
It could have gone bad, but it didn't, and he got that money shot, so you can check it out on the Instagram. It is candid as you were almost falling off, and I think this man needs to be promoted to Nat Geo ASAP.
Absolutely. Head to @Fresh927 on Instagram to check out all the latest pics. This next article goes out to all the cat owners out there, including yourself, Callum. You've
Yes.
been a cat-loving owner for many years now.
Sure.
And-
I've got 2 cats.
Yeah, well, have you ever heard of the website Catster?
No, I haven't. Is that a play on Napster?
It
as
is.
in-
Oh, well, I believe so. Yeah.
You'd think it would be.
It's called Catster. It's tested by expert cats and humans. If it's Catster approved. And this website, basically, you can check out all different sorts of cat food that's good for your cat, health and care for your cats, articles about cats. And I did find this one article here on Catster. What is a cat's IQ?
Right.
Vet-approved facts and how to test feline intelligence.
Yeah, okay. So is it how would you conduct such a quiz to test the cat's IQ?
Pen and paper, mate. Ask it a couple of questions. Yeah. Sticky tape the pen into one paw, paper in the other. See what happens. No, there's it does go into how, IQ test for a cat is obviously going to be very different to your standard IQ test for a person.
Sure.
Because they're typically questions that a cat can't answer. But there is a way to test your cat's intelligence. And they reckon that a really smart cat would be around the same intelligence of anywhere from a 1 to 2 year old child.
Yes, I have heard that. The old animal equivalent for the intelligence. Yeah, I did hear that cats were, like a grown cat, 2 years old, 2-year-old human.
Now, Callum, you have 2 cats.
Yeah.
Walter and Jesse, named after the stars of Breaking Bad.
Yes. Yeah, they are.
And you sort of have a bit of a gripe with one of your cats.
Yeah, well, you'd assume Walter would be the evil one, just based off the Breaking Bad characters. But no, Jesse is the one that's a little bit annoying. However,
Jesse's a rotten egg.
I will say, I do like Jesse.
Yeah.
He's an alright bloke. I see him around the corridors, give a nod, but he,
But you wouldn't go out for milk with him.
Yeah. I wouldn't go as that far, to socialise with him. But no, he is annoying. But I will say, on a general assumption, he is probably the smarter one.
Right. Well, what I want to do is I do want to put your 2 cats to the test, and I want us to pick one of your cats. Now, of course, because they're your cats.
Pick him like Pokemon.
Yeah, because they're your cats, you can have first pick of the litter, no pun intended. And would you rather be Team Jesse or Team Walter?
I'll go Team Jesse because I think he will be smarter.
Right, you talk a lot of crap about Jesse too.
Talk a lot of crap about my teammate. You know what? If you want to take Walter in this intelligence IQ battle of cats, of the cat mind, I will tell you, Walter might have better emotional intelligence.
Right, well, I am stuck with Walter now. You've picked Jesse.
Yeah,
you picked my favourite cat.
He's not a bad call. He's just a bit of an idiot. Like, he's just a bit docile, Walter.
But what I want to do is I want to tell you what this IQ test is, and anyone listening that has cats, you should try this out with your cat as well and see if you have an intelligent cat or a dud.
A dud.
Yeah, the dud cat.
Might want to return it. Put it back in the litter.
But basically, the IQ test is that you grab their favourite toy and a cardboard box.
Yeah.
And this test is best performed in a quiet room, free of distractions, nothing that the cat can mess about with. And then you show your cat their favourite toy, and then you simply place it behind or inside of the box.
Yep.
Now, cats that go looking for the toy, they have a basic understanding of objects' permanence, and that's going to be your cats that have a similar intelligence to a 1-2-year-old child.
Right.
Some cats probably won't understand where the toy has gone after it disappeared, so they're not going to go looking for it. And then there's going to be other cats that completely forgot you even showed them their favourite toy.
Okay,
and
so
they're
that's
the real duds.
That's the bottom tier, that they just completely forget about the toy, right? What if the toy has a bit of catnip in it and then...
No catnip allowed.
No catnip allowed, okay.
That's like juicing for cats.
Yeah.
You can't put any catnip around.
So it's against the rules. I was going to say, if it's an easy way to win.
But what I want to do, Callum, is issue you some homework here. Tonight, I want you to try this intelligence test on your two cats. I'm Team Walter, you're Team Jesse, and tomorrow morning we'll find out which cat is smarter and who has the better teammate cat.
God, the unfortunate scenario being that they're both duds and they both forget about the toys. Be like, what have I raised?
Then we'd start looking at you. You do the IQ test.
Hi, Jeremy Cordeaux in the Court of Public Opinion. I'm just on air here to let you know that we'll be live streaming the Court of Public Opinion every Friday between 9 o'clock and 12 on jeremycordeaux.com. Please join us. We'd love to have you.